I'm Ryan Chilcote. Russia's been a home to me for more than 2 decades, from the fall of communism to the rise of Russia's rich. Forget the Russia you know. I'm going to show you the Russia you don't. My Russia.
This week on Ryan's Russia. From the mountains to the sea, Russia gets ready to host its first ever Winter Olympics, Sochi 2014. Ryan gets back his rusty ski legs. And then heads for rest. And relaxation.
Oh no! Get me out of here. Please, quickly, help.
It may look like the Alps or even the Rockies, but it's not. We're flying over Greater Sochi in southern Russia. And if you've never heard of it, don't worry. In 2014, you'll hear plenty.
That ski jump is 120 meters, and that's going to figure pretty prominently in the Olympics, obviously.
Sochi and the surrounding Caucasus Mountains will be at the center of the world's attention, playing host to the Winter Olympics. And to ensure they're a hit, Russia's dropping over $10 billion on them.
That right there is the stadium where spectators will watch both the biathlon and cross-country skiing during the 2014 Olympics, built by the Russian energy giant Gazprom.
The region's rise to fame doesn't start at altitude, but at sea level, in a subtropical climate just an hour's drive away. For decades, Sochi has been Russia's Riviera, and it was the summer destination of choice for the Soviet people, owing its modern-day development to Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, who came here and fell in love. But it's not Stalin nostalgia that has been bringing people here for decades. Now, this beach town is trying to become a ski resort, and it will use both the coast and the mountains to host the Winter Olympics. That's where things get complicated.
You can see why we call Sochi the longest city in Europe. Because it's, let's say, start from here. It's about 147 kilometers long to the border with Abkhazia.
With basically just one road.
Yes.
How many people are you anticipating to be in the city at any given time?
Because we are waiting for 3 waves of people coming here, we expect about 500,000 people per wave.
It's not only the first time Russia's hosted the Winter Olympics, everything has to be built from scratch. New trains, train stations, and miles of roads. No wonder Sochi feels like a giant construction site.
We built from the beginning all the sport venues.
There was nothing here.
In the mountains and in the coastal cluster, all the ice arenas and the arena for opening and closing ceremonies. So I think we are the only city that we built so many venues.
This is for the opening and closing ceremonies, and after will be what?
After the Olympic Games, it will be football arena, international football arena. This arena is for figure skating. It is for 12,000 spectators. We call it iceberg because outside you'll see it looks like part of iceberg.
This is one of the main venues, the Ice Hockey Palace. Designers give Over the Top an entirely new meaning.
This is no ordinary ice palace, is it?
It's an ice hockey palace, and it's an interesting palace because you see the outside part. It's gonna be like a LED screen.
Really?
Yes, and we can show whatever we want on that screen.
And this hockey arena has a real special importance to Russians.
For Russians, for sure. After Vancouver, you know, we hope that Russia and Canada will be in final, and this time we win.
First of all, let's stand up.
Olympic prep in Sochi isn't only about infrastructure,
And touch your nose.
it's also about learning the world's most popular language. Foreigners, after all, are a rare sight here.
We are doctors. We are doctors. We are nurses. We are nurses.
It's part of a language program for all. Anyone who wants to take English courses can do so for free.
Are you excited about the Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a proud for our country, for our city. We are proud about Olympics.
You are, yeah? Fantastic.
When it's all over, Sochi will be unrecognizable. New shops, art centers, universities, offices, and apartment buildings. And more hotels, and even better tourist temptation.
Nah, I got a much better idea.
Coming up next, Ryan takes to the slopes.
That's the most graceful moment here.
And then, Ryan hits the banya to relax.
I'm in the southern city of Sochi, hosting the Winter Olympics 2014. Russia's spending more than $10 billion on preparation. It's building Olympic sites all over the place. In the city, and the nearby ski resorts where I'm heading next.
Start to move slowly, left side and right side.
Wow, you're pretty good. You've arranged your own Olympics.
This is where you come to fine-tune technique.
I'll turn it up for you.
Короче, оп, careful, self-controlling.
Or in my case, get back rusty ski legs.
Whoa! This is a little bit tiring, Sergey.
Yes.
When are we gonna take a break? The thing is, you start to sweat after a little while on this. Whew.
But there's only so much prep you can do.
Whoa! Whoa!
Before you just have to go and do the real thing.
Oh.
Enough.
Enough, yeah. All right. I'm glad that's over.
Can I get skis, boots, and poles?
What is your weight, please?
Maybe 95 kilos?
Pulls?
Please.
Pulls.
All right. I'm ready to roll. This is a good gig. Hello. So I got my one-day ski pass for about 50 bucks. I got kitted out for another 35, but I'm not sure I've ever seen a metal detector at a ski resort before. All right, let's go have some fun.
The Caucasus may be beautiful, but the same mountain range is home to some simmering insurgencies. No surprise, in the run-up to the Winter Games, security is tight. Of the 4 ski resorts in Greater Sochi, Rosa Hutor is the biggest, and by far the biggest in Russia. It may also be the biggest resort to be built in Europe in decades.
It's just extraordinary.
When it's done, it will have more than 50 miles of slopes, 20 ski lifts, 9 new hotels, and just maybe as many as 10,000 visitors a day.
This particular resort designed in a way that we believe that after we complete it in year 14, this resort will be one of the 3 or 5 best resorts in Europe. It's for sure. I can guarantee.
That's easier said than done. So this is Rosa Peak, and we are at 2,320 meters, pretty much right at the top of the mountain. Let's try it out. And here we go! But with a season that extends into May, and the 5 meters of powder beneath me, there'll be no repeat of Snow Star Vancouver here. Whoa! Rosa Hooter is on its way.
I'm 8 years.
In fact, it already has fans.
Our team's name is Action Brothers.
You're gonna go off the cliff?
Yes, we want to jump from the cliff and...
So where are you gonna go skiing?
We're going skiing these cliffs.
Right off the cliff. Are you crazy?
We don't think so.
Right. Maybe I should join you. Should I come?
Good luck.
Those guys are nuts.
But hey, I don't need an invite to go off trail.
Whoa! Free riding isn't that easy. Whew. Not the most graceful moment here. Oh, I think I can do it. And he lives to ski again. All right, you can stop shooting now.
Yeah. Go easy. Less likely to get stuck off the main slopes is a man who's paid more than anyone to ski here. Vladimir Platanin is worth more than $10 billion. And he's built this entire resort from scratch as a legacy. So this is the Olympic Village.
Yeah, it's under construction down the hill. These gray buildings behind this ski center. It's going to be ready by next season.
And the idea, obviously, is that this ski resort is supposed to live on for many years.
Of course. It was, the idea was to create a resort, and then the idea of Olympics came.
Yeah.
They will ski before Olympics, and they will ski after.
How much money have you forked out on this resort so far?
About $1 billion already.
$1 billion.
And the whole budget of the resort is more than $2 billion.
That's a very expensive skiing experience.
Yeah, it is. It is. But when we are talking about legacy and giving back, maybe it's okay.
How far are we from the sea right now?
Maybe 10 kilometers, maybe less, directly.
10 kilometers to the sea?
Maybe less. But if you go by car, it will take about 30 minutes.
It's not every day you get to ski in a subtropical climate. That is the main Caucasus chain, and if you can see down there, there's another brand new ski resort called Gazprom. Owned by the Russian energy giant, Gazprom is building the biathlon and cross-country courses. After the Olympics, they want to link these resorts up by ski lifts and an all-valley ski pass. The venues may not be finished, but Olympic hopefuls are already on site. Nine nations sent one athlete each to test out the luge track.
So you've been on the track?
Yeah.
Yeah, first people down. We only had one crash. Typically, there's a lot more when you're first trying out a track, but it's a fun track, fast, safe, and yeah, I think it's going to be ready.
Organizers are being extra cautious. A luger died on a training run for the last Winter Olympics.
There's all this attention to the track because of what happened back in 2010. Is it that much less fun because they've tried to make it safer?
I wouldn't say less fun. I mean, speeds are down, but you don't necessarily need to have a fast track in order for it to be exciting. We got clocked at 135 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
So
that
it's
is fast.
mid-80s.
Coming up next, après-ski, Russian style.
Get me out of here. Please, quickly.
Welcome back to Sochi, host to the Winter Olympics 2014. Right now, it's a building site. Venues and facilities built from scratch, cross-country courses, ski jumps, bobsled, and luge tracks. Russia's determined to not only pick up medals, but put on a good show.
If you look out the window right there, you can see here is the Aimka mountain range. Truly an extraordinary place. That right there is the bobsled track for the 2014 Olympics. It's all right here.
And I've spent a tough few days checking out the facilities.
Now this is nice.
Beaten and bruised, there's only one thing for it: an ancient Russian remedy.
This ought to be interesting.
Hello.
James?
Oh, hello.
Am I in the right place?
Yeah, nice to see you.
I've been told this is the place to come after a long day on the slopes.
That's right.
Let's do it.
Welcome. Come inside. Welcome to our banya.
James's place has a Russian/Native American/medieval feel to it.
So what the heck is this?
Well, this we call it chanbannikov. It's a cauldron with hot water in it. It's 1,700 liters in it. And we heat it up with a fire. We can get 6 people sitting in here. Once we had 8 people in it.
How do you know you're not going to boil over?
Well, you have to keep checking the temperature and moving the wood around. We actually made one of these for the Russian president not long ago.
And not to offend you, but your accent doesn't sound very British.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very British, I know, but I'm here for 16 years, so...
You've been here for 16 years.
Yeah, and I don't get to speak English much.
You're a Russified Englishman.
Completely.
The main attraction, of course, is the banya, or Russian-style sauna, and I love them. Even built one myself, so James is going to have to work hard to impress. Done properly, the banya involves steam, extreme heat, ice-cold plunge pools, and, as weird as it sounds, a bunch of twigs.
So how does this work?
This is Russian parilka, Russian banya. So we just have to go inside now.
After you.
After you, sir.
The word banya is from the Latin balneum, which means to chase out pain. They certainly did their best. The beating increases blood flow. It's supposed to be good for me.
Get me out of here. Help. Okay. Help.
Only made bearable by where I was going next.
That's nice. Oh. It's got to be over 100 degrees Fahrenheit here. Oh. Perfect. I think we can call it a day. Oh, that's enough skiing.
Sochi is a charming, chaotic mass of old and new. There's no doubt after the multi-billion-dollar makeover is done, it will look grand for those 17 days in February 2014. What happens after the athletes have gone, whether it becomes a world-renowned ski destination, is an open question. One thing is for sure, after witnessing more than a decade of decay here, what's happening to Sochi is impressive.
Next week on Ryan's Russia.
Gotta get up to the front.
The spirit of Russia.
The patriarch is about to arrive.
In Europe's most religious country,
The water's already gone.
what has people plunging themselves into frozen lakes on one of the coldest days of the year?
How was that?
But no matter how cold it gets, the Russian spirit is reaching out to warm those who need it.
Thank God for her. I pray for her.